stress response to the challenge response. Right, so instead of interpreting these feelings and not only emotional but physiological feelings as something bad, reframe it as this is actually my body and mind is getting ready to take on this challenge. So this is actually a good thing, and it has all these
beneficial effects that you talked about.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think it's also about kind of reframing the situation sometimes too. So I think in the past when I was doing public speaking, I would feel this sense of dread and I would kind of feel angry with myself for having agreed to do the event. And, you know, like it was a very negative attitude. Whereas actually I've changed that now to recognize that, you know, this is important for my personal growth, that I've got this message that I want to communicate to people, and it's actually a privilege for me to be able to do that. And then I tell myself that actually the stress that I'm experiencing, that's because it really matters to me and because I want to do the best job I can, and it's actually helping me to do that. So it's that overall change in mindset that I think has been so powerful for me personally. It really is powerful. And actually, I mean, maybe it's a bit cliched, but one of the researchers put it like this, that when you have those butterflies in your stomach and you change your mindset, you're getting them to kind of fly in formation. And I quite like that metaphor, actually. It's just that you're actually, you know, you're turning what could be uncomfortable, you're turning it to your advantage.
What effect does the expectation effect have on our physical aging?
So, you know, the expectation effect is hugely important for physical aging in a way that I was initially really skeptical, because it's not often you see such big effects in science. But actually it's been replicated, reproduced, and then, you know, we know the mechanisms now, so it's very good science. But essentially in 2002 there was a study of longitudinal data, so a study that looked at, I think, around 1,000 participants over the whole course of their life. And at around middle age, these people had been asked about their expectations of what would happen in the next few years as they got older. Did they think their life was going to get better or worse? You know, or stay roughly the same. And what they found was that the people who expected their life to get a lot worse as they got older, maybe because they were associating old age with things like disability and vulnerability, that they actually lived for 7.5 years less than the people who had the positive views of aging. A really big difference in lifespan. Now, what's happened since then, apart from the replications that I mentioned, is scientists have also looked at the mechanisms behind this. And, you know, some of them are behavioral mechanisms. So if you have a very defeatist attitude towards aging, you're just less likely to do exercise or to eat a healthy diet. You know, you're going to kind of let yourself go more easily. And that's going to then have a knock-on effect for the diseases that you suffer from, your ultimate longevity. But equally important, there's a direct physiological mechanism here. And what happens there is that if you feel vulnerable, all of the challenges around you are actually going to feel threatening and dangerous, and you're going to have a heightened stress response. So it's going to be more extreme in the moment, and you're going to experience that again and again. You know, if you're just walking to the post office, going to the supermarket, and you're worried about getting lost or having a fall, you know, each time you're going to kind of have a heightened stress response. And over time, those higher levels of cortisol and higher levels of inflammation, they're going to bring about bodily wear and tear. That actually makes it more likely that you're going to experience different diseases, from cardiovascular illness to Alzheimer's disease. And we can even see these changes in the cells themselves.
Demons be gone!
Be gone, demons.
Be gone!
Leave this studio!